Good morning everyone. Today we are going to discuss about oral and enteral and parenteral nutritional feeding. Okay. In this we go through only theory part, and after that, after you're coming to college, we go through in demonstration. And from whom this oral, enteral, parenteral nutrition should be give to if any person may undergo any surgeries, and if any person may attempt any suicides while their nasogastric enteral route will be damaged. In that time we feed that patient through nasogastric feeding. Okay, it is assisting a dependent patient to take food and fluids. What is the main purpose of it is to assist the patient to eat meal and to meet the nutritional need. Okay, and after that, to promote health and to prevent dehydration of the patient. If no food and no fluids means the body get dehydrated. In that time we must allow this nasogastric tube feeding to improve appetite. Okay, and after that, what are the main general instructions for this? The diet is prescribed by the doctor and planned by dietitian, sewed by nurse. Okay, nurse only assist this feeding. Food should be sewed at correct time in a pleasant manner and in a pleasant atmosphere. Small and frequent meals are preferable for a sick person, and maintain a chart for intake of food and fluids for seriously ill patients. And after that, the patient should be free from pain and other discomfort during mealtime. And food should not be too hot or too cold. Meal should be served in clean and covered vessels, and give enough time to the patient to enjoy his food. Encourage the patient to develop a taste to his therapeutic regimen of diet. And be careful not to spill food. Wipe the patient's mouth and chin whenever necessary. Okay, and after that, what is the main preliminary assessment? We must check the doctor's order and patient likes and dislikes and socioeconomic status, and if any food habits of the patient, we also find out that, and the general condition and ability for self-care. We need to assess to do self-care. Okay, motivate the client and create a pleasant environment for the patient, well ventilated, free from noise, odor and pleasant sight. Okay, and after that, equipment, a glass of water to give at the end of the meal, and napkin to wipe the face in between, and Macintosh and towel also needed, feeding cup or spoon, and after that, kidney tray also. If any waste material are there, we must throw that in kidney tray. What is the main procedure? Wash our hands thoroughly and make sure that patient is not starving of any procedure, and explain the procedure to the client. First we have to explain the procedure to the client, and after that record the procedure in the nurse's sheet and intake output chart. These are all the main introduction part for feeding the helpless patient. That means any unconscious or unconscious but post operative day will be there, means in that time we have to assist the patient while giving this feeding. And nasogastric tube insertion, how to insert the nasogastric tube? First, nasogastric tube insertion is a method of introducing a tube through nose into stomach. Okay, the main indications are you are gaining access to the stomach and its contents. This enables you to drain gastric contents, decompress the stomach, obtain a specimen of the gastric contents, or introduce a passage into the gastrointestinal tract. This will allow you to treat gastric mobility, immobility and bowel obstruction. It will also allow for drainage and or lavage in drug overdoses or poisoning. In trauma settings, NG tubes can be used to aid in the prevention of vomiting and aspiration. As well as for assessment of GI bleeding, NG tubes can also be used for enteral feeding initially. Okay, these NG tubes also may be used for enteral feeding, and this will aid in the prevention of vomiting and aspiration. Okay, and after that, what is the main purpose of it? To feed patient with fluids when oral intake is not possible, and to dilute and remove consumed position, to instill ice cold solution to control gastric bleeding, and to relieve vomiting and distension, to collect gastric juice for diagnostic purposes. What are the main equipment for this? Nasogastric tube of appropriate size based on the patient. If adult or infant, the sizes may be different, the tube sizes. So we have to check properly the size of the nasogastric tube before insertion. And stethoscope. Through stethoscope, we listen the abdominal sounds, okay, peristaltic movements of this uh, through stethoscope. Based on that only we need stethoscope. And bowl with water and adhesive scissors, syringe 20 cc or 10 cc. Okay, these are the main equipment, and before that we have to check the doctor's order and patient's ability to follow instructions, and we have to assess the condition of the patient and articles available in the unit, and maintain the preparation of the patient and the unit. First, explain the procedure to the client and then arrange the articles at the bedside, and provide privacy to the client, provide comfortable position, and place Macintosh and towel across the chest. And after that, if any dentures are there, we must be tell to client to remove that dentures if any, and place it to a bowl of clean water. Okay, after that we give mouthwash and help him to clean the teeth and clean the nostrils. If any secretions are there, we must be clean, and using swab stick dipped in saline. And what is the procedure? How to tube? This is the how to give nasogastric tube feeding, like this. Okay, like this you stand the syringe like this, and you pour any milk or any liquids, you pour in this syringe, and this is nasogastric tube. Through this tube, the while giving, there one cap is there in nasogastric tube, one open and close cap is there. We must be open it, and I explained clearly in demonstration. Okay, and of what the main procedure? First we have to wash our hands thoroughly and measure distance of tube from tip of patient's ear knob to nose to tip of xiphoid process, and after that 6 to 8 inches with the lubricant using a rack pieces or a paper square, lubricate the tube. Okay, and after that hold the tube coiled in the right hand and introduce the tip into the left nostril. Pass the tube gently but quickly backwards. Momentary resistance may occur as the tube is passed into the nasopharynx. Okay, if the tube passed into the nasopharynx, if any momentary resistance will be there, there may be quickly backwards. So we must pass gently but quickly backwards. When the tube reaches the pharynx, the patient may gag. Okay, allow him to rest for a moment. Have the patient take sips of water on command. Advance the tube 3 to 4 inches each time patient swallows. Okay, patient must be swallow while passing or insertion the tube into the nasopharynx. Make sure tube is in stomach. Once if it is right, correct or not, maybe the insertion is correct or not, we must be listen abdominal sounds through stethoscope. And once location of NG tube insert, close other end of the tube with spigot and secure tube on nose with a adhesive in T or butterfly. Okay, that NG tube insert closed other end will be look like a T or butterfly shaped. We must be closed that one. Okay, other end will be closed. What is the main definition? Administration of feed directly into the stomach through a tube passed into the stomach through the nose or mouth. Okay, nasogastric or orogastric. What is the main purpose? To provide adequate nourishment to patient and who cannot feed themselves, and to administer medications and to provide nourishment to patients who cannot be fed through mouth. And what are the main indications? Head and neck injury and coma, obstruction, severe anorexia nervosa, recurrent episodes of aspiration, increased metabolic needs, and poor oral intake. What are the main types of nasogastric tube? Leibniz tube and Salem sump. These are the main two. And what are the articles needed? Formula feeding, graduated container, large syringe, water in container, and stethoscope. Identify the patient and explain the procedure to the patient. That feeding will take around 10 to 20 minutes to complete. So also explain that patient will experience a feeling of fullness after feeding. And what is the reason? Proper explanation always clears the anxiety of the patient and ensures cooperation. Explanation to be given to patients who are unconscious, as they may hear and perceive the instructions. Okay, if the patient is in unconscious state, they may hear and perceive the instructions. Okay, and assess the food allergies and time of last feed, bowel sounds, and laboratory values also be notified. If any complications are there, it will prevent, for proper assessment will be there. And after that, place container with feed in warm water and warms the fluid to be fed, and assist patient to Fowler's position before and after that, to enhance gravitational flow of feed through tube and prevents risk of aspiration. And wash hands and spread towel and Macintosh over patient chest. Done gloves, attach syringe to nasogastric tube. Why? Because there may be reduces the risk of transmission of microorganisms. And after that, aspirate stomach contents if there is doubts about tube placement, and obtain an order for X-ray. If residual gastric contents exceeds 100 ml for intermittent tube feeding or greater than 1 by 5 times the hourly. Okay, and notify the physician. What you observe, you must be notified to that in physician. If tube replacement is confined in stomach, pinch the feeding tube and attach barrel of feeding syringe to tube. Okay, and after that, pour feed into syringe barrel and allow it to flow by gravity. Keep on pouring feed or formula to barrel when it is 3/4 empty, and pinch tube whenever necessary to stop when pouring. Okay, we have to pinch the tube because prevents air from entering into the tube. And after feeding is completed, flush tube with at least 30 cc of plain water, prevents clogging of feeding tube. And after tube is cleared, close the end of feeding tube. If any leakages are there, it must be comes out. Because of that only we have to close the or end of the tube. And rinse equipments with warm water and dry, and after that bed elevated for 30 to 60 minutes after feeding. If any aspiration will be there, that may be prevented. And wash our hands, document type and amount of feeding, and monitor for breath sounds, bowel sounds, gastric distension, diarrhea, constipation, and intake output also we have to notify in nurse's record. And instruct the patient to notify nurse if he experience any sensation of fullness, nauseated or vomiting. You must be assess the patient. Okay, and after that change the nasogastric tube according to institution policy, and change the articles every 24 hours. Okay, this is all about how to insert a nasogastric tube. Okay. And after that, gastrojejunostomy feeding. Gastrojejunostomy feeding is defined as enteral nutrition is a liquid food preparation directly into the stomach or small intestine via a tube, and it is an ideal method of providing nutrition for the person who is unable to swallow food and drink normally and but has intact gastrointestinal function. Okay, when a person who is unable to swallow food and drink normally but has intact gastrointestinal function, that persons only we have to provide nutrition through gastrojejunostomy feeding. And what are the main indications? Any tumors or operations on the upper gastrointestinal tract, and cancer of the esophagus, and strictures of the esophagus caused by poisoning in case of fistula cases. What are the main general instructions? It is essential that the area of the skin around the tube be kept clean dry. We must be tube kept clean and dry, and waterproof ointment such as zinc oxide may be applied around the tube to protect the skin from the irritation of the hydrochloric acid. If any irritation will be there, we must be clear of that. We must be provide any waterproof ointment such as zinc oxide. And foods given through the gastrostomy tube are same as those given by nasogastric tube, and the same amounts should be given to the person at the same intervals. And what are the methods of administration? Intermittent feeding, intermittent gravity, drip. Okay, we must be give 4 to 6 times a day continuously with bolus, a longer lumen tube, and the volume for formula is 250 to 450 ml, and we placed a large syringe and inserted into the proximal end of the tube. Okay, this is all about types of administration: intermittent feeding and intermittent gravity drip. And next one, continuous administration. We must deliver fluid through a small lumen tube at a constant rate via orogastric and nasogastric routes. First, we have to assess the doctor's order and level of consciousness of the patient and self-care ability of the patient and mental status to follow instructions. What are the articles available in the unit? We have to check. Okay, we have to provide the privacy to the patient and explain the procedure and arrange the articles at the bedside and place the patient in a comfortable position. Keep the environment clean and tidy and keep ready with feed to be given. Okay, in gastrostomy tube and nasogastric tube also same, but nasopharynx, this nasogastric tube passed through nasopharynx, and here directly into the stomach or small intestine via a tube. Okay, this is about gastrojejunostomy feeding. What is nasogastric feeding? Nasogastric tube insertion is a method introducing a tube through nose into stomach, and here gastrojejunostomy tube. In gastrojejunostomy tube, we pass or insert the tube into the stomach directly or small intestine via a tube. Okay, this is enteral nutrition. And what is total parenteral nutrition? Parenteral nutrition is sterile intravenous solution of protein, dextrose and fat in combination with electrolytes, vitamins, trace elements. And it is an intravenous feeding is a method of getting nutrition into the body through the veins. Okay, directly into the intravenous feeding. It is an intravenous feeding. It is total parenteral nutrition. Carbohydrates provide calories to the body, and any proteins, fats, lipids we must be provide through directly to the intravenous route. And it also contains nutrients, vitamins, minerals, electrolytes and waters. Okay. First, we have to assess the patient and fluid balance recording. Daily weight of the patient we must check, and ensuring specific parental nutrition solution written and check. Okay, and we have to follow the dietitian and medical records, and after that we have to maintain fluid balance charts, input and output charts also. Okay. What are the main side effects of total parental nutrition? Changes in heartbeat and confusion, convulsions or seizures, difficulty breathing, fast weight gain or weight loss, fatigue means weakness, and fever. The person may suffer with fever or chills, and any memory loss, stomach pain, thirst, vomiting. These are all the side effects of total parental nutrition. Okay, and parental nutrition are mouth sores, poor night vision, and skin changes will be there. And these are the main side effects of parental nutrition. If these conditions may appear, the patient should speak with their doctors if these conditions do not go away. And we assess the patient every day, what are the side effects are there, and we have to assess the patient and the tube also. Okay, if the tube is maybe displaced dislocation, means we have to once check that sound of the abdominal sounds or peristaltic movements. Okay, this all about oral enteral parenteral nutrition in this nasogastric tube feeding and gastrojejunostomy feeding. Thank you everyone.